10 things men don't do anymore. The dating game has seriously changed in recent years, and compared to the old days, there is a lot of things that men simply do not do anymore. This is partly because women no longer want it and disregard completely the old way of doing things. To be fair, there are a lot of things women no longer do, which is probably why men have responded by not doing these 10 things anymore. 1. Do not call, just text. Does anyone really ever call anyone else anymore? This seems so old-fashioned, with text messaging hitting the scene in everything. But imagine how amazing it would feel to get a special phone call from your potential man. Hearing his voice and spending countless hours on the phone chatting about whatever. It would really be nice to get a call from a guy, especially if it is to ask you out on a proper date. But unfortunately, a text message takeover has left us with, "Hey, wanna chill?" 2. Don't ask you out on a real date. Revert back to my first comment. Men do not call a woman or even ask a woman in person if she would like to go to dinner Friday night. As I mentioned earlier, it is perfectly acceptable for a guy to text a woman and ask her if she wants to chill. While there are men out there who actually know what a date is, the majority is going to end up asking for a Netflix and chill half the time. 3. Don't genuinely pursue a woman. Back in the day, a man would bend over backward to get the woman he is interested in. In this day and age, however, a man can simply hop onto Facebook or some other form of social media and hit you up that way. There is really no going after a woman or pursuing her in any way, shape, or form. And if a woman doesn't respond to a man's advances, it's likely that they'll start sending messages to other women instead. 4. Are not chivalrous. Opening the door. Pulling out a woman's chair? Yeah, forget about it. Men don't act like gentlemen anymore for the simple reason that women don't act like women anymore. It's harsh, but very true. In all honesty, if everyone acted the way they used to, then men would continue to be chivalrous. But what's the point nowadays? 5. Do not offer real compliments. Unfortunately, men don't offer up real, genuine compliments anymore. It is usually something rather basic like, "You look sexy tonight." Men used to give their ladies a really heartfelt compliment that was so deep, emotional, and special, but definitely not anymore. Again, women do not expect these compliments from a man, so they do not feel the need to give them. But it is quite a shame for the gals out there who would love to hear something heartfelt from their man. 6. Don't ask for a hand in marriage. Okay, so a man may ask you to marry him, but does he really do it the right way? Does this guy ask your father before asking you to marry him? Does he take you somewhere romantic and make you feel like the most special woman in the world before popping the question? Probably not. Marriage is almost off the table nowadays and seems practically pointless. So expecting a guy to marry you the old-fashioned way is pretty much out of the question. Again, unfortunately. 7. Do not come to the door. Whether he is equipped with flowers for his beloved in hand or not, men do not come to the door anymore. The more typical way for a man to call his date is to simply text her and say, "I'm here." It kind of sucks, not having a guy actually show up to your door like he is excited to see you and everything. But that is just the way the world is nowadays. 8. Do not pick yourself up. Okay, so most of the time a man won't come up to the door to get you for your big date, right? But not only do men not come to the door anymore, but they are less likely to pick you up altogether. Even if a man does have a car, it is more common for a man and a woman to meet up at a location for their date, rather than a guy coming and getting you from the door and taking you on a special date. Think about it. When is the last time a guy actually called you up for a special date, came in his car to get you, and show up at your door with a smile and a little roast just for you? It is something that just doesn't happen anymore. 9. Less likely to surprise you. Of course, women should not demand or even expect gifts from their men, but back in the day, men used to surprise their women because they loved them and wanted to. It would be totally nice if men still did that, and I'm not saying they need to come prepared with hundreds of dollars of gifts. Even something homemade or super cheap says a lot. It's the fact that you thought about her when you weren't around her and did something special just for her. 10. Do not make dating plans. Men simply do not plan dates anymore. The typical man is more likely to text their potential girlfriend that morning or afternoon, asking them if they're free to hang out. No longer are the times when a man calls his woman and lets her know he made reservations for Friday night, so be sure to wear her best dress. Everything happens on the same day, and it's usually not romantic at all. Obviously, times have changed a ton. It's both the men's and women's fault, with nobody to blame but ourselves. But it sure is a bummer, isn't it? How do you feel about the way dating is now?